couple of things that can cause a lot of problems in a relationship when done wrong.
Right, and finances are one of those, but it's not all bad. But it is important enough to have a straight talk with Risa and Edwina.
Another straight talk with Risa and Edwina. Thank you guys for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, John. Thank you.
We're talking today about communicating about finances in relationships. Ooh, this is a doozy. Let's go ahead and talk about why is it so important?
This is a hot topic. You know, lots of couples argue about finances, and so most couples are uncomfortable bringing it up. People want to just leave it alone. It's better left unsaid. Don't touch it. You know, just kind of put it on the back burner, if you will. But nothing can be further from the truth. You really need to bring it up and talk about it. Otherwise, things will grow and turn into something that it didn't have to be if you had addressed it earlier on.
Yeah, it's startling too, and some of the statistics on the way that couples communicate about finances are also startling, Edwina.
Yeah, absolutely, John. It's true. So according to the financial guru, Dave Ramsey, money is the #1 issue on why couples argue. 86% of couples who've been married within the last 5 years already start off their marriage already in debt. And, you know, a part of having healthy marriages and healthy relationships really includes talking about money openly and setting dreams and financial goals together. On average, you know, couples in general have about $30,000 in consumer debt, and 41% of these couples, you know, end up arguing about this debt as well as about money in general.
It's really difficult to have a conversation when you're afraid of an argument, though, isn't it? I mean, it's really, really frustrating. What are some of the ways that finances and money become an issue in a relationship? It's not just the talking, right?
Right, it's not. Most couples don't actually operate from a budget. There's not a budget that drives where their money is going, and if you don't know exactly where your money is going, you know, then there are different ideas about how it's being spent or how it should be spent or what can be spent even, you know, so there's that idea. Also, a lot of couples are ill-informed. There's not enough information, or they just haven't sought it out or gotten educated around finances or gotten help around that, so that's another piece of it. And everyone brings in what they were taught as children into their relationship. And so whatever money habits their parents may have demonstrated when they were growing up, they will mimic that when they go into a relationship. There are also, so with that, there's also culture and gender ideas, and those things also play a role in these conversations as well.
Somebody wants to address it. What are some of the practical steps of actually addressing finances in the relationship?
One of the most simplest things that couples can do is to just regularly set, even like monthly meetings together, set up a business meeting together as a couple to go over goals, budgeting, and planning of their finances. And when you have these meetings, you know, make sure that you are listening without blaming or accusing one another, and be honest and open about what's going on regards to finances. Put together goals and have also an overarching long-term goal for yourself as well too, for yourself and for the family. Like Lisa was saying, you know, having an action plan and a budget is very important. And also, because it's a partnership, you want to be able to discuss sacrifices that each other will be making, as well as differentiating your needs versus your wants. And overall, don't make assumptions, again, because assumptions will lead to failure. And when it comes to budgeting, a lot of times couples will have one person permanently take care of everything. And what we advise is really 2 heads are really better than one. And you have both couples actually involved when you are putting together budget and talking about money.
And adding a 3rd head is probably a great idea. How do they get in touch with you guys before the arguing even starts?
Right. They can contact our office at 808-375-7712 or at www.hookollc.com.
Finances in a relationship, super important to contact Ho'oko LLC. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
They say infidelity and finances can be the downfall of a marriage, and they're trying to help people get that back. They're trying to help people with planning and keeping you from arguing. So I really appreciate Risa and Edwina. They're helping on a number of different topics. If you've got something that you need help with, go ahead and contact them. We'll have that information on our website, kh12.com, shortly after the show.
Yep, good job, John. Anyways.